What are we looking at?
Oh, it's a logo.
Oh.
Once upon a time, there was a world full of laughter. Then a virus hit, and the whole thing was a disaster. But we got a show to let you know it's alright. It's alright. Even though it's only once a week, we guarantee you a front row seat at the Comedy Cellar Nightly Show once a week.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Comedy Cellar Nightly Show here on the YouTube Comedy Cellar Nightly channel every Tuesday at 7 o'clock. And until I suppose the pandemic is over, we'll just keep bringing it to you. Although the Comedy Cellar down on McDougal Street is open for dinner at 35% capacity. So if you want to go in and support the club as we like to, then please be so kind as to do so, at least here in New York City. Vegas to be determined. Anyway, also, of course, the chat room is open. You can press the donate button at any time or leave us a chat. And it's possible our producer, Mike, will let us know and we might answer some of your questions. So without further ado, let's get the show started with the prepared material. As always, everybody always loves this segment of the show. Well, what's in the news today? Let's see. After her two French bulldogs were stolen at gunpoint, Lady Gaga offered a $500,000 reward, which is $3.5 million in dog dollars. So, 6 Dr. Seuss books will be stopped publishing due to racist content, such as the famous line we all know, "I do not like green eggs and ham because I'm not a dirty Irish man." Sorry, Colin. Thank you. And, a Trader Joe's employee claims he was fired after writing to the CEO about COVID safety measures. But Trader Joe's says the man broke company policy by being able to write because they're dumb. And finally, New York Governor Andrew Cuomo is under fire after a woman claims that he kissed her against her will. Cuomo says he was just consoling her after he killed her grandmother in a nursing home. That's a
Great joke.
Thank you. Okay, without further ado, let me introduce our panel this evening. He is the host of the Jim and Sam Show, which airs live weekdays on the Faction Talk channel on Sirius XM Radio. And assuming everything goes according to plan with the vaccines, you may actually be able to see him live at the Wilbur Theater in Boston, Massachusetts on April 30th. Please welcome Jim Norton to the show. Hello, Jim.
That might have been pushed to October. I'm not sure. A
wasn't
lot of
sure
those
either.
dates have been moved.
Yeah. Well, that was also a rescheduled date from another time.
Oh,
So
yeah. From
took a
last
chance.
April. Yep.
Okay, so let me just bring up. So let's say this: he was for 7 seasons. He was the host of the legendary music series, That Metal Show, and he is current host of the podcast Everybody Is Awful Except You, which comes out every Monday and Thursday on barstoolsports.com. But I think, unless I have this mistaken as well, you can actually see him this Friday at the legendary Uncle Vinny's Comedy Club in Point Pleasant, New Jersey. Please welcome back to the show, Jim Florentine, everybody.
Thank you.
Did I get that one right?
Yeah, you did, but it's next Friday, but close
God
enough.
damn it. I'm so close to getting it all correct. I'm not used to everybody having actual dates I can plug, so I'm getting confused. Also, of course, as always, his new single, Is It Ever Now, available on iTunes. He is here every week. Thank goodness. You can follow him on all social media accounts at Colin Smith Music. And he is here, Colin Smith, everybody, as always. Hello, Colin. Sorry about that Irish joke earlier. Now,
Oh my God.
no, yeah. So, okay. So you guys are the first, well, now we don't know, but you might have been the first two guys that had live events to plug, but now we're not positive that that's the case.
Right. I'm not sure when mine are. I just talked to my agent about, I think the first dates I'm doing back, maybe they are in April. I don't know. We talked about one that we were going to lose the date because they're all the Saturdays are booked. But for some reason, I think it's October, and I would refer to my website, but I don't even know if they're there. I really have tapped out of fucking doing anything good in my career.
Well, I saw you were at the city winery, which we were talking about a couple of weeks ago, because don't be belittled by it, but Sean Cassidy is going to be performing there. So I don't want to make a big deal about it, but you're playing the same place. He's going to sing the Do Run Run. I mean, that's pretty good.
Oh, right, Sean Cassidy. I was thinking of David Cassidy.
He's dead.
I forgot. Yes, he is. That's why I was going to say. Maybe that's the Saturday I'm taking. But no, Sean Cassidy. Yeah, one of the Hardy Boys. I was a big fan of the Hardy Boys novels and the show.
Me too. Absolutely. I was both. You're right. The novels and the show. And then
Parker Stevenson, right? Was that the other guy with him? Parker Stevenson.
It's Parker Stevens or Parker Stevenson? Parker Stevenson.
Stevens.
Right?
I don't remember. I don't remember.
Well, he married Kirstie Alley, didn't he? Wasn't
that I
it?
don't know. Yeah. That's the end of my knowledge with the Party Boys. I'm
Well,
giving you all I know.
He started on Baywatch and then he left after the first season, only to be never heard of again.
Oh, I didn't know that.
In a brilliant move. And I remember because I liked the Nancy Drew show because I was in love with Pamela Sue Anderson after the Poseidon Adventure.
Maybe Kirstie Alley ate him.
So he was waiting to bring a zinger, which is completely successful. You know, it's even weirder. I actually watched that new Nancy Drew show because I'm attracted to that Nancy Drew. I got a problem with Nancy Drew.
Oh, who's starring the new one? I've never seen the new one.
It's an Irish. I know her name's like McKenna or something like that. So she's a redhead.
Oh, okay.
So I like it. It's funny. I was priding myself on seeing all the Nancy Drews because I also saw the Emma Roberts one as well. Like, I mean, this is how I pride myself on seeing all the incarnations of Nancy Drew.
Sure.
And then I was feeling that way about Dr. Doolittle, that I've seen every single version. And then last night I found out there's Dr. Doolittle 4 and 5, which I missed. And now I'm upset with myself that I didn't complete the.
Eddie Murphy did. Is that the one who talks to the fucking animals?
Yes. So
Ugh.
there's the
Dave.
60s one, which is awful, with Rex Harrison, which they make fun of on The Simpsons, which is classic. And then there's the Eddie Murphy. There's two Eddie Murphy ones with Norm Macdonald.
Right.
And a bunch of really good people like Gary Shandling and people like that who play the animals. Gilbert Gottfried's in it, I know, just off the top of my head. And then he did a second one with Albert Brooks too, as the tiger that had a problem. And then there's a third one, which I actually saw when his daughter becomes the one who can talk to animals. And then there's the Robert Downey one that came out in April during the pandemic, which was awful. And then I found out his daughter, the girl who plays his daughter, came out with 2 other ones, Dr. Doolittle 4 and 5. I can't believe I'm upset about this.
The only version of Dr. Doolittle I've seen was known as Mr. Hands. Did you ever see Mr. Hands? It's a really good Dr. Doolittle spinoff. It's about a guy who masters communication with a horse in Seattle. If you get a chance to look up Mr. Hands.
Wait, you're not going a different direction with this? It's you're being legit, or are we reading for?
No, Mr. Hands.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Sounds like he's leading us somewhere.
No.
I don't feel safe.
No. Look up Mr. Hands.
I don't know what's going to happen if I look up Mr. Hands.
It was a Dr. Doolittle offshoot.
Oh, well, that's the weird part. Here we go.
Yeah.
Oh, that's not, you don't have something to share with us, Mike? Oh, there's that Nancy Drew girl.
Wow.
Yeah. See?
That's cool.
Yeah, that's going to work every time for me.
Is that dead Nancy Drew in the back? Just
No,
staring at her?
that's her mother, I think, who died. I'm pretty sure that's how I gave away the first season ending. But yeah, she's kind of sexy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got a problem.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You got a problem.
But then Florentine, I'm saying calling you by your last name because you're both Jim. Not out of a disrespect.
I don't care.
I know you don't, but when you're playing Uncle Vinny's Comedy Club, that what that's the home of, or as I call it, the house that Wid built. It's the home of the legendary Wid.
What is?
Uncle Vinny's Comedy Club. That's like the only place he ever performs. No,
Remember performing there.
That was Wildwood you're thinking of. You're thinking of Club Casbah, probably in Wildwood, the Wid. We did that with the Wid for years in the 90s. And Philly, the Laugh House, he did for a long time.
Yeah.
So I don't know whether you heard, I know Jim knows, but about 5 years ago, I asked, so the legendary Wid, if you don't know, I'm going to just say you don't know, but he was an epic prop comic.
Very funny.
Very funny for most of us, but then of course there's the other people who just don't get it. But all of us used to open for him back in like the early days. And so about 5 years ago, I had a birthday party at the Comedy Cellar, and the plan was I was going to just kind of rent out the Village Underground, not
Right.
have any, patrons, and Dave Attell was going to open for the Wid, which I thought was the funniest thing anybody's ever done.
Sure.
And then the party started as he was cleaning up, so we would all watch him clean up all his props. And then Liz was like, "Well, maybe you should charge tickets. That's a fun show." And I charged like $5, and we let in the public, and they just hated it. They were really angry.
Really? They didn't like the
They
Wid?
did not understand the Wid and his genius.
He's so funny.
Yeah.
He's like a prop guy. Like, like guys, comedians give shit to ventriloquists, but every comedian loved Otto.
Right.
Like with prop guys, every comedian loved the Wid because he's really funny and he's just aggressive and he's a fucking maniac and he's brilliant. Really funny.
Well,
Just-
Liz,
And just the way he looked through those boxes and he couldn't find stuff.
Yeah.
It was almost like when George would yell at Otto for being a loser. And all that.
Yeah.
Just those little things was great.
Yeah. Him going through those giant boxes, stepping on his own shit, fucking screaming, throwing this. Really, I always enjoyed the Wid. And yeah, maybe it won't translate for everybody, but yeah, we've done full weeks with him in a while, but we're doing 2 shows a night for 14 shows in a week. And the stage is a fucking disaster after every set. And he still puts it together and gets ready for the late show. It's fascinating.
yeah, and that birthday, Artie Lang came on too, and he came on when Wid's stuff was all over the store, and he was just playing with the stuff. And then he was just in awe. He's like, "Do you think he comes up with the material before he buys the props, or do you think he has the bit and he goes into a thrift store?" It was like not funny, but it was like we were all thinking it, you know. But it was quite fascinating. Well, let's see what there he is.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I saw him at the Cellar. He came in one night. It might have been around that time of your birthday, but I hadn't seen the Wid for years, and he popped in. It was so good to see him. He came in just upstairs at the Olive Tree.
Yeah, no, he came in because I was doing a show. He came in to see me.
Oh, okay.
And it was another birthday, and he came in because he was very excited to be on at the Cellar because he doesn't get the respect. But Liz was so angry. I don't know whether she'll ever have him back because there was too much stuff to clean up. There was another show after, and she's like,
Yeah.
Juskow, when he was bringing in the guy, like Colin, he has like 10 garbage bags full of props. So when he's bringing in the 7th one, she's like, "Juskow, what the fuck is going on?"
Oh, yes.
Like, she was getting really
Yes.
upset. I'm like, "Oh no, this is his genius." And
Yeah.
she just didn't. She's from another.
Yeah, she's more. She likes just more just talking to the mic and get the fuck off.
It might just be a guy thing too. I don't know. Most of the girls I spoke to did not care for it.
Oh, really?
I don't know. It's like one of those things like when guys like cartoons and Bugs Bunny and the girls didn't care for it. That's the way I look at it, I guess.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm going to share my screen now and go into our multimedia section of the show. So we have all this cancel culture we have to go through today, unfortunately.
Yep.
You probably heard about this, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
They're taking away the Mr. from Mr. Potato Head. Everybody's so angry. They're just calling Potato Head. And I like saying it like with that Brooklyn kind of, they're just calling him Potato Head.
Yeah.
I don't even know what to say. It's an embarrassment.
Well, it went back. It was just a marketing thing. They said they're not going to do that. Actually,
Is that
changed it.
true?
Yeah. They changed it back immediately. I thought we were looking at these 3 playing which ones do we want to fuck. And I don't know who I would pick first.
Fuck, marry,
they're,
kill.
they're also attractive.
Well, the first thing, of course, I thought of that I was grateful that Don Rickles wasn't alive to see this
Yeah.
because he would be really pissed off. That was
he
his
would.
whole bit.
Yeah, I think they always do these things. Yeah, just like they get publicity and then they go, "No, we're not," or they just do it. No one even knew Mr. Potato Head was still around.
Yeah, that's a good point. I didn't know.
It's
And
back on everybody's radar, so now they'll see in the store. Oh, yeah, that was a thing. So it was good marketing by them, even if
Yeah.
they didn't do it ultimately. So
I'm glad you told me that they're putting it back. That actually makes me happy because
They are,
you're getting fed up. There's a goddamn pandemic going on, and this is what they're worried about. But as a marketing thing, then it's fucking brilliant.
Well, it reminds me of watching everybody looking to get angry at each other and cancel. It reminds me of, like, you ever see the old game shows where somebody walks into a fucking cylindrical tube and they blow money around? Like, that's how people are running around looking for things to be. They're just like looking for things to be upset about. It's actually kind of funny when you stop. Like, I've stopped getting angry about it. I'm just kind of enjoying watching everybody run around and just kind of chew each other's assholes. It's fun to watch.
I need to get into that area. I'm
Yeah.
still really getting angry about
Oh,
it. Like this
yeah.
one, they're talking about taking away Mr. Met. I don't know
Good.
what they're going to call him, but they want to take away the Mister. I'm saying, well, you don't like Mr. Met. You don't like the Mets.
I detest all of the, like, I hate the fucking Philly fanatic.
Yeah.
I hate any fucking what do they call these things that
Mascot?
I fucking hate mascots. They're not cute. I never enjoy them. I hate their antics. I think they suck.
Perfect segue into the fact that they added on Mrs. Met, who's
Ugh.
very cute
Ugh.
and apparently a huge whore because she's been known. This is from the Mets website. She's been known to be dating the White Sox southpaw and the Kansas City Slugger.
Ugh.
And this is from the Mets website. They made a whole thing where Mrs. Met is a whore and she's been cheating on Mr. Met. I am not joking.
It's not cute. Like, it's not like, oh, look at the Mets. I just hate it. And it's not to be a curmudgeon. I've always hated it. I've never thought it was cute once. I don't know. It just annoys me. It's
I
just
can
one more way of
understand.
treating adults like fucking idiots. And I know it's for the kids, but fuck them too.
Remember
You
that
say
when, was it that the Milwaukee Brewer guy, I think, knocked one of the mascots over that time?
Oh, did he?
Pushed him down. It was great as he's running around the bases. Just knocked him to the ground. It was beautiful. He got suspended for a couple of games. I went out and bought his baseball card.
I'm going to guess, if I had to guess, Jim, I'm going to guess it was Gorman Thomas. I can't think of anybody else other than that fucking mustachioed Gorman Thomas.
Remember him? Yeah.
Yeah, or
You
Robin
might-
Yount.
You know he was a friggin' angry alcoholic. But no, it was later on. It was probably like
Oh,
15
okay.
years ago.
I can't
Oh.
believe you know your Brewers.
I know. I know two, and that's it.
That's
Those two.
impressive, though. But
Right.
it's funny you should mention that they're not cute or anything. Again, but the thing is, there's a huge fan site for whoever plays Mrs. Met's ass,
Why?
and
She's wearing diapers.
I
this
know.
is I know it does look, but whoever is in there and they keep it a secret. There's all these pictures
Oh,
of her butt.
I stand
I'm
corrected.
not kidding. I found this on the CBS website.
Yeah.
It's like a thing, like her playing. Was that either Venus or Serena? I
That's Serena.
mixed
Oh.
up, which I guess now seems racist.
Can you go back one? She's wearing lifts like Pacino. I love those little lifts she has in her shoes.
Which one? This.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, that-
those are like Al Pacino
Like
shoes.
Pacino.
Continued success.
Go back one more. Mr. Met has no ass.
No,
Yeah,
he doesn't.
He's got no ass. Yeah. I
He
guess that's why
collapsed.
somebody noticed Mrs. Metz because he has no ass.
Yeah, he has an ass like Babe Ruth making his retirement speech when he was fucking riddled with cancer.
And then here's Mr. Met just staring right at Mrs. Met's ass. So if it's not a real thing, then I don't know what it is.
Yeah, she has a nice hiney. I will agree.
It's a
I
vibrant
don't-
marriage, I would wager.
Agree.
I don't know if you heard about this. This
I
just
did.
happened- Oh, you did that. Right, Jim. You know because you
Too bad it
you
wasn't
have a
in-
show every day.
Too bad it wasn't a New Jersey golfer and it was Voss.
I've heard that around the
Yeah.
around the clubs. Yeah, but
That would have been a different headline. It would have been New Jersey golfer has stroke attempting book.
But I mean, did you hear any other news? I mean, what? I mean, unless he was dragged in by an alligator crocodile, nobody drowns at a golf. I mean, look, I made a compilation of these guys who fall in,
Oh,
and then how shallow is that water? And they get right out. Here's another one. I mean, it's best when their friends are laughing at them. I mean, how shallow is that water? How do you drown in that? I mean, what kind of idiot? I mean, Voss is the only example. But it's like, how could he have drowned in that? I mean, do you know any other answers? Do you know any
I don't
more
know.
about
I
that?
don't know.
no, no.
I don't
They
know.
don't
Maybe
make it clear.
a strong will to be first at something. Maybe.
I mean, I
Yeah.
always been drunk and driving around in those carts, but still, I would
Yeah.
still be able to get out.
It's Ted
Like,
Kennedy golfing.
I guess you heard about this today.
Yes, I agree totally. The Dr. Seuss it needs to be canceled. It was very upsetting. There was a couple that you look at, you're like, yeah, I kind of get why they're like, with the yellow Chinese guy. Like, all right, I get why in school, but they should just say we're not going to read this one in school because it's a little dated.
Right.
But
There's no reason to just
Yeah.
stop publishing stuff.
Agree.
And the guy did a lot of good, and everything. But yeah, they're thinking of canceling. If you haven't heard, they're canceling 6 Dr. Seuss books that were pretty much made in the 40s and 50s. They think somehow they're racist. I'm not sure this one is one of them. I don't know what the deal is with it. These are 3 an example. This one I tend to agree with because I could see there why maybe that one is a little racist, but
yeah.
but otherwise, now this is one of his drawings from the war, and for real, right? So
Yeah.
he made all these war cartoons, these political cartoons during the war, where he's making a Japanese guy look like an asshole because we were at war with Japan.
Yeah.
I feel like people seem to have forgotten.
Yep.
And that's really troublesome for anybody that fought in World War II.
Right. Yeah. They were
Remember
trying to
they-
kill us.
They bombed our country. They were ahead of their time before the actual terrorists.
Plus,
But it's
like,
all-
Bin Laden.
like propaganda was pretty standard across every nation's
Sure.
thing. It was just like caricatures of the enemy being absolutely,
Now this
cartoonish, villainistic. Yeah.
is racist. This was 20 years after. This is in the 60s. This is beloved Mickey Rooney, with false teeth
Whoa.
and
Oh.
what's it called?
An iPhone.
A Tiffany, breakfast at Tiffany's. It's breakfast at Tiffany's, and he is just playing this Japanese guy. What's his name? Mr. Yoshiada.
Wow.
And he's yelling and screaming throughout the whole movie, which was nominated for Oscars. And the funny thing is, this is from the 60s, right? So it's 20 years
Right.
after the war. We're already forgiving the Japanese, which of course is always pathetic when you're at war with somebody. You're like, oh, we're going to
Yeah.
forgive them 20 years from now. Why are we even doing
Yeah.
it? But I just like to picture people in the theaters laughing hysterically at this. And then, think if you're trying to cancel the culture, and then you just have a video of people laughing hysterically at this. What are you talking about? It's hilarious. I mean, this is the guy. They said, let's make this guy Japanese. It'll be hilarious.
Yeah.
Mr. White.
Who's that with him? Who's that woman? She's very attractive.
Judy.
It's Judy Garland. Which
Oh,
is,
that's Judy. Oh,
and this picture makes you wonder, why is she such a gay actor? She's way hot here.
she's really attractive.
Yeah. She looks amazing there.
They
But,
did, Charles Bronson always played an American Indian in a lot of those Western
yeah.
movies that he did.
That's right.
They didn't have an actor, so they always went to him because he had the skin color for it. But he played a lot of his movies. He was.
Yep.
Yeah, that happened a lot back then. And well, what if that guy who played Charlie Chan was just a regular white guy, right?
Was he? I don't know.
That's what I think I heard. And remember that Mr. Magoo's assistant in the cartoon, Mr. Magoo. They're just.
I don't remember.
Here's Jim's
Ah,
Daily Show on Sirius XM, channel 103.
yeah. They said
Jim and
strike a
Samson.
pose. They said, Jim, go for could you try to look like a cancer patient? And I said, yeah, let me just do that. I'm smiling like a fucking cancer patient. Like I fattened up in the pandemic and I definitely want to drop 15 pounds, but I don't necessarily, I don't want to get to fucking sick and keeping my chin up smile because that's what that looks like. That's an awful fucking photo of me. Awful.
Well, but this is the poster for the show.
It sucks.
And I was looking
It
for
fucking
another one. I'm like, he's
sucks.
not going to like this one.
It
And I couldn't
sucks.
find
The
another
show,
one.
not the poster.
That's the poster for the show.
That's one of them. Yeah, they took a bunch of. They did a couple of photo shoots.
Yeah.
But my button shirt is awful, and my smile is I'm
But Jim,
hateable.
you guys have been, well, here's the fucked up thing. So this picture was, when I was on, you were kind enough to have me on the show multiple
Sure.
times. And here I am with Jim and Sam after the show.
Yeah.
This was exactly a year ago. You see the difference? We're all holding hands, having a good time. This
That's right.
was exactly a year ago, the day before you shut down.
Right.
I was on the show. I was probably, I guess, the last guest in studio, maybe the day before.
Yeah.
And then everything shut down, like March 10th, maybe.
Yep.
Did you guys come to work on the 11th? Do you
I don't
remember?
remember. No, I don't remember the day. But it
Sirius
was one of those
shut down.
days. Yeah, yeah. And we started doing it from home. It was about almost a year ago. And I'm standing with my awful adult who just remembers he was molested in childhood, so he doesn't want to be touched. My no unwanted touching fucking
I
posture.
know. Well, the
Very
funny thing is
uncomfortable.
that Ian doesn't seem to mind. He's got his hand around
Around Sammy, they look right
But
together.
this also happened to Jim Florentine as well. Here we are, all nice with Nikki
That's right.
Glazer,
That's right.
and then this year for some reason with Phil Selman. I don't know why.
Yep.
Clearly, I didn't know that guy was still alive.
I want to have
haven't
him
seen
back on. I miss him.
I
Yeah.
haven't seen him since. I haven't talked to him since 1988. And he
Really?
booked me on a show back in Pennsylvania somewhere. I didn't know he was still around. What does
Yeah.
he do?
He's
Still
still
doing
does stand-up. He does a lot of corporate parties and stuff. And, he gave me and Jim our start.
Me
Yeah.
too.
Kind of guys. So we did a lot of shitty one-nighters and
Yep.
stuff. And,
Me too. Me
it
too.
wasn't for a lot of money, but we knew what it was. You know what I mean? I wasn't going to bid whatever he got out of it. I didn't care. He was giving us like $70. We're doing comedy for like 2 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
a night. That was
I
good
did the
money
same
for us.
thing.
Yeah. He helped
Was
us
that-
a lot of gigs.
Was it in the 80s or the 90s?
90s.
No, I mean 90s. Yeah, like 90 to like 93, 94, somewhere around there.
Yeah.
Mine was in 88,
Oh,
89. Like it was, yeah.
I started in 90.
But he was always really nice. I mean, it's just,
Yeah.
I just hadn't seen him. I didn't know so much. So what's the story? You're still doing it from home, or you're obviously in the studio though?
No, home. This is home.
This was home?
Right
This
now.
picture?
Oh, that picture was last year though. That was last year.
Oh, was
Sam
it?
away. Sam was away. So like he was doing some wrestling thing.
Oh, okay. I
he'll
thought it was-
yeah. He'll go away and do these wrestling things. And he was on the screen that day, which is rare. It just happened to be when Jim and Phil were in. But
okay.
yeah, this
So-
is home.
Are you still doing it from home?
Yeah, every day.
Sirius is still not open, or you
No,
have the
they're not letting us come in because you know how it is in New York. These office buildings, we're on like the 36th floor, so to get everybody up will take so long with
Right.
whatever they'll have to do. How do they keep the building safe? How do they wipe everything down with all these guests? No celebrities are going to want to come through, so it'll happen sooner or later. But I don't even fucking care. Like we get good guests now because people who normally would be in LA are now coming on our show because they have nothing else to do.
Yeah, that makes sense. I know.
Yeah.
Well, that's how I got you guys.
That's right. We have nothing to do.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, they're gonna have to figure out like the whole elevator system in New York. In these buildings. How
That's
many
right.
people let in an elevator? What if more people want to get in? There's gonna be fighting going on. If there's only like a 3-person limit or something like that, and people don't want to wait. So,
In my building here where I live, it's only 3 people at a time.
oh yeah.
But everybody moved out, so it hasn't been a problem.
Well,
I'm
there's
the
only
last-
2
yeah.
on the building I'm in. There's only 2, and I got on, and someone said there's only 2. I'm like, no, they raised it to 3 today. And they're like, really? I'm like, yeah. It's been changed to 3. And they're like, oh, okay. I mean, what
You
are they
just-
going
you
to do?
just told them.
Confront me later? Who cares?
Yeah.
I know. Was this last September? Was it canceled?
This
Was
is
this-
2 Septembers ago, I believe.
Oh, I just love this. I absolutely love this
Amazing.
poster, the Chip Chipperson podcast live.
Yeah.
It's amazing. And you did it because it was it. What did you make that poster because it was in Long Island?
Yes, this was a guy named Jeremiah Metzger.
Yeah.
Does a lot of these.
I've heard that guy.
Yeah, he does a lot of like I have so much Chip merchandise. It really is fucking humiliating. But and I have him do some of the mock-ups, and I have another artist do stuff. But most of my posters like this are Jeremiah Metzger. He's a Photoshop master,
Yeah.
and he's done a few really great ones for me.
Yeah, this is great. And the Paramount, I opened for Attell and Jeff for bumping mics there last year, just before
Right.
last summer. Or
That's a great venue, that
two summers
Paramount.
ago. Yeah,
Isn't it great? Yeah.
And it would have been so you did it right because it must have been perfect for your podcast.
Yeah, I've done podcasts. I've done stand-up there. I mean, I did there and Philly. I want to say back to back. It might have been a Friday, Saturday, or 1 week apart. I don't remember. It was very close between there and the whatever that gig in Philly is. Starts with a T. Jim, you might remember it. It's
CLA,
not the TLA. No, not the Electric
Trocadero.
Factory. What's that?
Trocadero.
There you go. No, is it new?
No, not really. The Troc.
No, this one is kind of new. Whatever it's called, I don't remember. It's in Philly. I've done it a couple of times. My memory is starting to go. I had no point to that story. It was like not only did I peter out, but even if I didn't, the story sucked.
Well, we'll move on
What
to
am I doing?
Jim's podcast. Everybody's awful except you. That's on and Jim. That's a current one that comes out Mondays and Thursdays, or is it live?
Yeah. No, it comes out Monday, Thursday, not live.
What's it about?
Just social media. Just bitching about things on social media.
I wasn't sure because I know it's on the sports station. So I wasn't
Yeah, it's
positive.
not, but it's hard. Barstool Sports isn't all sports stuff,
Right.
Which is
I
good, so they don't want it all sports related.
Yeah.
So mine is more like making fun of people's Facebook posts or
Oh, good.
Yelp review, people bitching on Yelp and stuff like that. Just goofy shit,
Do you do a video one or just the audio?
Just audio.
Oh, you do just audio. Okay.
Yeah, they'll film it when I'm in studio at Barstool in the city. They'll film it and others put some video clips up. for promotional clips, but they'd rather just the audio.
And
It's
this
just
is
me anyway, so it's not, there's nothing exciting going on.
Right.
I thought this was one of the greatest tour names. To Creeps with Kids. It's Bobby Kelly. I guess that's Ron Bennington. I don't know him. Rich Voss and Jim, and they are touring now. As far as I saw, you guys will be at the Borgata in July. This July, right?
We'll see. I mean, it depends on how many people will let in.
Right, right.
Right now, that's the only date scheduled. Everything keeps getting moved back. Same thing. Especially with theater dates. The comedy clubs that hold 400, even if it's at 25%, they could seat 100. You could still kind of pull it up at these theaters when all the tickets or most of them are sold. Is going to be a problem. So who knows what the shit's
going. So how is Uncle Vinny's working? Like, why are they allowed to have?
It's 35%. It holds 160 people, so they could put like 45 people in.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah, which is fine.
But they're allowed to do shows. Like in New York, you can put the 35%, but you can't do shows.
You're allowed to do indoor entertainment in New Jersey.
Oh, I see.
But just at 35% capacity.
All right, got it. This
by the way, the worst part of that poster, can you go back on that poster? Seeing Voss lean in like Voss is infuriating in that poster. Yeah, Bobby and Jim and Bennington smoke cigars. Voss is really leaning into it in that stupid hat like he's on the back of an album cover. This was a big moment for Voss. Like this was his rock and roll fucking moment.
Right, you got the New York Dolls t-shirt too.
I know.
I had to stop using Bonnie on the show because Rich kept coming on.
Yeah, believe me, it's all attitude. Someone told him take a picture with attitude, and that's his idea of having attitudes. That fisherman's hat was fucking awful. What a goddamn idiot.
That's awesome. This was the hockey game that happened last Saturday in Lake Tahoe between the Bruins and the Flyers. As you can see, no one cares.
Wow, yeah.
No, this was a live game that counts in the standings, and no one could care less. They're all boating, and especially this boat. You know what happened here? You heard about this, right?
That Natalie Woods?
No, it was Fredo getting
topical.
Killed. You were close. It was Tahoe. So.
Okay.
And I don't know if you heard about this when they found this scream. They found lettering that the artist Edward Munch wrote, saying it can only have been painted by a madman or something like that. Like they found this by infrared lighting. It's new, but I found. When I zoomed in on my thing, what did I hear? We'd have to. Oh damn! It's ruining the gag.
Did they really find something he had written?
They did, but I found this one. He wrote that a long time ago.
Chip Chipperson is Jim Norton. He's right.
He discovered that a long time ago. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to break it out on this show.
Is that an exclusive?
Yeah,
yes.
And actually, what it should have said is Chip Chipper is more popular than Jim Norton.
Well, I was gonna put Voss is gay, but I wasn't sure.
Yes, that's something Voss
would
have written.
Now I realize I definitely could have been better.
Where do they find that writing, Dave? Where's the writing on the poster? That's pretty interesting. I love that picture.
It's where I put the Jim Norton thing. It's in there. They always thought it was destroyed by somebody damaged, but they put an infrared thing on it. And they saw the inscription, and they clearly think it's written by him because everybody was calling him that he was insane and stuff. And then he wrote, clearly painted by a madman. It's new. It just happened this week.
Oh, wow.
Love that kind of shit, right? That's like Da Vinci Code shit.
Yeah.
Or what a National Treasure, the Nicolas Cage stuff.
Oh.
The forefathers put that in on the dollar bill or something. I like that stuff.
I mean, the painting was a cry for help.
Clearly.
By the way, what made them think there was something in there? Like, hey, let's check this out. Oh, they thought somebody
the reason
vandalized it.
Yes, exactly. So if what if I?
Well, maybe he didn't write it. How do they know he wrote it?
Well, they don't know for sure. It just doesn't make any sense. But yeah, they saw in here that there's some sort of thing going on here, and they used an infrared lighting and saw writing right around.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know.
It's a good picture.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's kind of a classic. I guess.
I'm not a big fan of art like paintings, but that one I really like. Most of them I think are ugh. fucking, but that one is really good.
Well, it depends if there's
I didn't
something.
know what it was. I thought it was one of Wid's props.
Well, I always like when there's like, I only like a painting when there is some sort of drama to it like that. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys ever watched Doctor Who, but there was one episode where they brought Vincent van Gogh back in time, and because they found something in one of his paintings that wasn't right, and they brought him. It was written by the guy who wrote Notting Hill. as gay as that is. Okay, now let's go back and understand that that's Lopez's room. Say it again, Jet, so we can get back, Jim, so we can get back on the track of the Scarface analogy you're doing behind you. Lopez Motors. That's where Jim Norton is broadcasting from.
It is, yes. I'm in Miami, and actually I have to use the restroom. Let's head to The Shining. How's that? But fuck yeah, that's probably the best restroom ever shot.
I just saw
Shining
Dr.
movie.
Sleep. Did you see it?
I didn't know. Usually,
It's
anytime
okay.
Stephen King gets wrapped up in it's never as good when Stephen King gets wrapped up in. I never enjoy it as much.
I liked it. It was okay.
Okay.
But the best part about The Shining, and I don't know how much I can say about it, but I like that the ghosts in the movie The Shining are completely racist, and they use the N-word often. I just think that's the funniest thing. Why are the ghosts racist? What is the point of that?
Are they really?
Yeah, remember they just say, when they're talking about Scatman Crothers, it goes, you realize he's letting a blah blah into and they use the N-word. I'm like,
Cook, yeah.
what's yeah, right. I'm like, why are the ghosts racist? What are they so angry about?
Well, don't forget they're from a different time too. They're not woke ghosts. They're from like the early 1920s, and somebody interfering with the house business. How would you expect them to react?
Well, what do they care if he's black? What's the difference?
Because they're deaf. They're trying to just appeal to Nicholson's or to that time, I guess, his nature. They want Nicholson to attack him with an axe. So they're like, we should probably say as many harsh things as possible. That's my guess. I've never thought of it. But I mean, imagine that they feel he's trying to bring Danny into the house to fuck with things they're trying to bring Scatman in. They're trying to make it look like it's a bad thing. That's my point.
You shine, boy.
Yeah.
That's a great scene. Gets it when he gets it with the axe.
Oh,
is that great? Right in the chest.
Yeah.
I love how Nicholson, like he hits him so hard that he gets like a little double step after it, like my chin. If you watch Nicholson when he hits him, he does like a little double. He hits him so hard the momentum takes him. It's really a great scene.
Do you ever see the documentary where all they do is they only made that documentary to make Shelley Duvall look ridiculous?
Yes, I think I did actually.
It's great. It's like 30 minutes long. Florentine, if you haven't seen it, it's unbelievable.
Yeah.
It's clear that his daughter only made this to make Shelley Duvall look foolish.
Yeah. She's a big conspiracy theorist now.
The what?
She's a big conspiracy theorist, his daughter, Kubrick's daughter.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, I believe so.
Well, there was a conspiracy that Shelley Duvall was trying to stop the project somehow. I don't know. It was weird where they just ganged up on her. And it's really funny. And the best is when James Mason comes in. This is all in the documentary. And he's like, well, hello, my dear. Jack Nicholson. And she doesn't get introduced. And she gets really, and then they like cut to her. Like, it's like, like Jersey Shore. Like, I couldn't believe I couldn't meet James Mason. And then it's completely unacceptable. Like having a confessional. It's one of the greatest documentaries I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because they also have the scenes in the movies. Like you want to see, like when they're filming the refrigerator scene and everything. It's exciting. See extra footage.
Yep.
Anyway, now is the time. Just one other thing. We had a donation today from It's the It. And he says, I wonder whether the WID knows how to use Zoom and could he be a future guest? I'm going to say no on that.
Oh.
Since it's almost impossible to get in touch with him. I'm just saying he could be a future guest. I don't think he knows how to use Zoom. But if you go to his Facebook page,
he might have a younger kid that knows how to do it, set it up for him or something.
Sure.
You think so?
Yeah.
You think he has a disciple?
Possibly.
Well, that would be nice. I mean, I think his stuff would translate here. We can just, we are with the WID in his basement. I mean, that is a show. We'll wait till the pandemic's over.
Yeah.
Anyway, this is the part of the show where Colin Smith usually sings us a live song, our musical guest. But today we're going to do a little something different because both Jims were on today. We thought we'd do a little harder rock song. So, Colin, you had a video you were going to show us today.
Yeah, I just felt lazier. Like I didn't really have the energy to pump out some rock in my place right now. So I was like, let's go to tape.
All right, so let's roll the
Some
tape.
previous rocking.
Colin Smith video.
From a caped crusader to an ordinary gentleman. You might have seen him in the 70s in the mine shaft. Fitting in with no spirit, I seem to make it work. Careful not to draw out of the line. Keeping to myself in the sweet darkness where I lurk. No one knows me, that suits me just fine. But I love to rage, out there on the range. I love to play that I can. And if I say a little self-contained, it's only what I want you to say. Yeah. I don't feel so lonely when I open up a book. I have all the company I need. So much anonymity to keep me off the hook. Every curiosity is freed. But I love to rage, out there on the range. I love to pray that I can. And if I say a little self-contained, it's only what I want you to say. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, what? What's this? It's just a little rage. Just a little rage. Go ahead. I love to rage, out there on the range. I love to breathe okay. And if I say a little self-contained, it's only what I want you to say. For I'm the little rage, I'm the ranger, yeah.
Nice.
Very good.
Yeah.
Where'd you tape that?
In Rockwood Music Hall over there in East Village.
Wow,
Oh,
really
cool.
nice.
Oh, I've been there. Oh, right. Okay, I did comedy there
song.
once. It's nice down there.
Thanks, Jim. Jim's.
Yeah, really good, man.
Well, how long? I mean, are you still in that band? Is that a band?
It is a band. It's called 100 Hounds. We are not active at the moment.
It seems like you piss a lot of people off.
Yeah, right.
Them, Christina Aguilera.
Yes.
You burn bridges wherever you
Yeah.
do Kevin Brennan. You Irish folk.
Absolutely. Yeah.
No, good job.
Thanks, bud.
Well, that is mostly our show for today. I mean,
Mhm.
so Jim Florentine is at Uncle Vinny's next Friday. Do you
Friday,
have any other what?
Friday, March 12th.
March 12th. And do you have any other gigs coming up?
Yeah, I got some dates down in Florida. All the dates are on my website, jimflorentine.com in April.
Okay, what about Jim Norton? You have your regular show every day on Sirius Radio.
Just Jim and Sam in the morning, and you can also get go to chipchipperson.com or go to the YouTube and watch the podcast. That's all I have going on. Just those two things.
I know it's.
I'll
tough.
get some gigs sooner or later.
Yeah, no, everybody will. We'll all open up again, and the Cellar will open up again, and that's the point of the show is that the Comedy Cellar will survive, and we give you this little tidbit until it reopens fully again every Tuesday at 7:00. Next week, our guests will be Rachel Feinstein and Cypher Sounds, and the week after that will be quite interesting. We will have from Fox News Tom Shalhoub and Jamie LaBella. So we like to mix things up every once in a while. But
Tom's
that
a good
is,
dude, man. I like Tom a lot.
Yeah,
oh yeah,
me too.
yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Everybody likes Tom, and he is an interesting fella. And sometimes he hosts.
If anyone should be on Saturday Night Live doing Joe Biden, it should be Tom Shalhoub.
Ooh,
His
I
Biden is
agree.
amazing.
Does he do a good Biden? I didn't know that.
Unbelievable.
Where'd you see it?
I've seen clips of it online. He
Oh,
does
no
it on
shit.
Greg Gutfeld's show every week, but his Biden is it's phenomenal. Like
Wow.
he'd be a superstar if he was on Saturday Night Live with that.
Wow.
I'm surprised.
Yeah.
Oh well, they probably would never ask him because it's the other side. That
Yeah,
Sure.
probably,
they're not going to get somebody from Fox News to do Biden. Well, though they should. They really should. If they really want to be controversial,
That would be funny.
that
Yeah.
would be awesome and a really good, almost like a peace offering to everybody
Yeah.
on the other side. But well, I didn't know that. Well, we'll definitely have them do it then, which is very exciting. All right, now we got a show.
Yep.
I'm telling you, this show every Tuesday night at 7:00, Comedy Cellar Nightly at the Comedy Cellar Nightly channel on YouTube. Thank you, Thank you, both Jims
Sure.
today. Thank you, Colin, again as usual. And I hope everybody stays safe and has a wonderful week. We'll see you next week at 7 p.m.